Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back in with another video tonight. Got a plethora of cards that we're going to dip into today, and a few structured decks that I want to feature a couple keynotes on that. So getting this video started off, we're going to start with Snuffus. This is a solo print secret rare from the Shining Darkness. I reviewed this a long time ago in some of my original videos. This is just a really cool plant card. I mean, it's a beast, but it has to do with plant support. Amazing artwork. Again, just an old school secret rare. And let's go ahead and take a look at the first editions here. Of course, as always, I'm going to be looking at Near Mint Lightly Played. There's only 3 pages on the market here. No first editions on the first page. We get our first editions on the second page, and they're about 3 bones. And that's pretty much the average price. And then it goes up to about 5-ish. So, pretty awesome card. I'll definitely check it out. Moving on. Next card is going to be Fairy Tale Snow. There's a couple other fairy tale cards here that are pretty cool. More specifically, everyone's favorite, Snow. This is currently banned, but again, I'm an avid fan that everything comes off the ban list eventually. So we're going to go ahead and look at the highest rarity here, which is the OTS 3. OTS 5, apologies, super rare. Fantastic artwork, just a blowout card. Really great. And it's going up slightly in price. This was $1 for like the longest time, and now it's sitting at about $3-ish, $3+ $4 range. Only 3 pages left of this card, so definitely worth checking out. Next card is going to be Firewall Dragon, another forbidden card here. There's a couple different prints here, well, just 2. And then these other cards came out later on, but this is the original OG, so we're going to go ahead and look at the Code of the Duelist secret rare. My reasons for this card specifically, and you guys probably know this from my previous videos, this is going to be a collector's card. This is a big anime card, and there's a lot of history to this card. A lot of good history to this card. And Code of the Duelist was the first set. It was a changing of the era in Yu-Gi-Oh! It was the first set that we got link cards in the TCG. So it's a very significant on its own merit. So go ahead and looking at the first editions, they're about $7. And then move to about 8. There's 5+ pages. So I was picking up, this is a $5 range, $4 to $5 range. That's what I picked this card up, mostly from buying off here, but if you can trade for that range, it's pretty awesome. Again, amazing artwork. It's a big anime card, and it's going to be a collector's card, and as time goes on, people are going to want the original prints. Moving on, another awesome collector's card, Vampire Lord. This is Generation 1 Dark Crisis, the secret rare versions. This is one of my all-time favorite zombie cards ever. The artwork is just unparalleled, amazing. I love the artwork in this. No first editions on the first page. Even the Unlimiteds right here we're seeing sitting at about 6, almost 6 bones. Only 3 pages in total on the market for this for TCG player. First editions we're going to get is on the second page for about $20, and then it just quickly moves up after that. Already at the bottom of the second page, it already bottoms out at $64, which is pretty incredible. Yeah, about 20 bones. So mixed feelings on that. The few copies that I have that I bought not too long ago, probably like early 2019, were, I don't know, maybe like $10, $12, $14. So not too far off from this cheapest one here that are 19, but it's up to you guys, but this is a fantastic card. Next card is going to be Ultimate Rare print version of Witch of the Black Rose. Again, this is just fantastic artwork. Dark level 4 spellcaster. Effect is kind of subpar, not really a big deal, but just an old school Ultimate Rare. Dawning from Absolute Power Force, really old set. Unlimited, it's not really a big deal. First edition here at the bottom of the page is 6 bones, and there's only 2 pages of this left for the Ultimate Rare prints, so pretty awesome. Next card is going to be Lilith, Lady of Lament. So this is a solo print from Structured Deck Lair of Darkness, and this is just like phenomenal artwork. Of course, there's been sporadic upticks of people playing either mixing or playing Layer Darkness. It's an amazing deck. It's an amazing structure deck, and just the sheer powerhouse of being able to tribute your opponent's monsters for your own benefit is just very powerful and hard to kind of get around. I believe that, yeah, this is one of the structure decks that I'm going to be reviewing towards the end of the video, and I'll kind of get into that later on. But this card alone is about $4. It's about $4 for this card. If you want to factor in shipping, for only 4 pages left, and it is a solo print. So there's that. Moving on to the next card, Necroworld Banshee. So this is another solo print from another fairly recent structure deck, Zombie Horde. This card is $6 right now. Very incredible. This is a blowout card. The way that it can just, its primary job is searching out Zombie World, and it does it well. It does it the best. It's a quick effect, and you can pull it right from the deck to the field. It's just unbelievable. And it's at $6 all across the board, about $6. Only 3 pages of this as well. Interesting how both these structure deck cards are 3 pages. Condemned Witch. This card has an awesome effect and amazing artwork. So you can kind of see the focus of the theme here was really artwork. I went heavy on artwork for this specific video, and this video is very similar to kind of like my Babes collection market watch video for like collector's cards. I kind of mixed in a couple extra things here and there, but it's pretty similar. But this card, it's going up as I predicted. It's been going up. This card was literally like $2 for like the longest time. Now the cheapest we see is about 5 bones, and it just quickly goes up after that. Several pages of this, so it definitely has the availability. This is just an awesome card. This effect right here is the key thing that you can pop it off, and especially someone at level 4 from your deck is pretty awesome. We've never had anything like this before, so and then just the artwork alone is just a complete extra icing on the cake. It's a solo print as well. Witch's Strike. So this is the biggest complaint with this card, is that it's very situational and the timing has to be perfect essentially. Amazing artwork. Unfortunately, and I guess another big complaint is it's not a counter trap card. That's not technically considered a solemn card. But I never really was supposed to be. It has the solemn god there, and it has it's part of the archetype in the story and all that. Everyone knows that this card would be way too powerful as a counter trap anyway. Just an all-around fantastic card, and it's been slowly going up. This again is another solo print. First editions are about $6, and then just kind of moves up from there. Plenty of pages to go through. Just an all-around great card. Next card is going to be Gaga Girl. This is not a very good card at all, but it looks like Dark Magician. It has amazing artwork, and it's got this awesome deep secret rare foiling, and it's from Order of Chaos. A really good, really old set now. And let's go ahead and see the first editions are about 6 bones, and there's 5+ pages, and then it goes to about 7-ish. So this has actually gone down a little bit. Pretty surprised, but yeah. Collector's value. It's an anime girl artwork card, old school secret rare, part of the Dark Magician Club, even though it's kind of separate, but it has the stats of a Dark Magician themed stuff. So there is that. Dark Necrofear. This has amazing artwork, and it's kind of playable depending on what you're playing. If you want to do some kind of crazy, it's a level 8. It's a fiend. It's a dark. It looks like a badass alien invader. It's super awesome. More specifically, I want to talk about the Dual Terminal 2 rares. This and the Masters Collection Secret Rare are definitely my top choices for prints. There's a lot of different prints of this card. The dual terminals are looking about $1.30, $1.30. There's 6 of here. So yeah, they're about 2-ish bones. Only 2 pages left of that. This has been dwindling like crazy. I talked about this card. I don't know. I probably first took note of this card maybe late 2018, early 2019, and there was pages and pages and pages of this dual terminal print, which I bought several of for 25 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents. They were super cheap. They haven't increased too much in value, but the market is running pretty dry with only 2 pages left on this. The other version, everyone knows that the Labyrinth of Nightmare First Edition Ultras, of course, big time money in collectors, being the original print. But my second choice here would be the Master Collection Volume 1, Secret Rares. It just looks great. I really have a thing for Secret Rares, and I think this is fantastic. This is super cheap, and there's a lot more on this market. It's kind of interesting with this being such an ancient set. Master Collection Volume 1 is just such an ancient set, but this is still really, really cheap. I think that this would be smart to at least get a playset of this. Just for artwork alone and just the rarity, deep secret rare foiling is just fantastic. Really quickly, just out of curiosity, because I have a little extra time, because this video is going a lot quicker than I anticipated, I want to take a look at the first edition original prints from LON. Only 3 pages for the lightly plates and near mints. No first editions on the first 2 pages. And there's 1 first edition available, lightly plate, for $50. So that's a pretty valuable card. Moving on, Royal Magical Library. A lot of common reprints for this card. This is the highest rarity as a super rare out of OTS Pack 7. And this card, used to be 50 cents. It used to be a half a bone for the longest time. There's only 1 page left for Near Mint Lightly Played, and it's $4. It's $4 all across the board, and then it jumps all the way down to 10 at the very bottom, probably because there's only 1 page left. Talked about this card a couple times, quite a while ago, probably in 2018 and early 2019. I've always thought this was a fantastic card, and I got very, very excited, and I really dipped in hard for the super rare prints when OTS 7 dropped, because it was super cheap. Artwork is good. Effect is not once per turn. It's continuous, and this is a great card. And it's an old school card. I think its original print is from Magician's Force or something, so it's a Generation 1 nostalgic card for me. Neteria Rose Whip, the anti-meta card that people just seem to leave in the dark. It has pop-ups every once in a while here. There was a time when the specific this version, the dual terminal one, spiked like crazy. I think it was like $20 or so. It's down to about 5 now. There is another version as a super rare from a hidden arsenal, which I'll show you in a minute. But this one's sitting about 5 bones. And there's only 2 pages left. This is a fantastic card. I'm a huge anti-meta lover, player, builder, and I love playing this card, especially with Moon Mirror Shield. And yeah, it's just one of those random Neteria cards that is just super powerful and potent. It's great. I love it. Of course, the dual terminal is pretty awesome. It's the highest rarity. And then we have the Hidden Arsenal 2 super rares here, which unfortunately I think I only have 9 sets, or not 3 play sets of this from the super rares. First edition, of course, from the original prints. And this is only like $1. It's only $1. There's 4 pages left, so this is a lot more manageable. Get this card. Just get this card. I promise you, everyone should have a playset of this card. This is a fantastic card. It's amazing how this card isn't limited. Its stats are terrible, but it's a tuner, it's a plant, it's an earth, it's a level 3, and its effect is just... This is probably the most powerful level 3 effect. That's kind of a bold statement, but this is just a fantastic card. I would definitely look into investing. All right, so the last 3 tabs are going to be structure decks. Every once in a while, I talk about structure decks. Of late, my last one has been the Shaddoll Showdown structure deck, and I'll kind of review that and kind of explain that a little bit more as a review again in a little bit. So as you can see here, there's certain structure decks that I choose to buy about a case or so sealed, and just to hold. Everyone knows after a structure deck drops over time, as it goes out of print, as it gets older, as the years go on, sometimes even months, just months for the more popular ones, the values for the sealed structure decks go up. They become collector's value. If you're going to do this, my rule is always go sealed, always go first edition. Unlimiteds are pretty much useless. I would not invest in any kind of sealed product that's not first edition. Now, when these structured decks drop, they're about $10 per deck, and you get all these cards, mostly just common, that are pretty much not worth anything. But as time goes on, especially with these cards now being solo prints, you can see like Doom King. I'm just gonna call it Doom King. Let's take a look at this card really quick. These prices, mostly just because these are solo prints right now, these eventually get reprinted and they might decrease in value a little bit, but you're always going to have that sealed first edition collector's value for these hardcore zombie players that are going to want these, and you can sell them for a lot more than $10. And I think it's a fantastic investment to just drop the money, buy a case when it first comes out, when they're like, and a lot of places when you buy in bulk like that, like a case, you can get them for less than $10 per deck. This card is sitting at $6, almost $7. Only 3 pages left, which is pretty incredible because Zombie Horde just came out, mid 2019, early 2019. So this thing is not even maybe a year old, if that. Probably not even a year old. It's already seen this kind of value. Same thing with Necro World Banshee. Just a fantastic card. And fantastic artwork, amazing effect, amazing stats, just an all-around great card. And that card's $6. I already reviewed that, so you guys know about that. And then, commons here, even this Glow Up Bloom is sitting, at $4-ish. So already right here, your value is already back. And then you have kind of a safety net, a fail-safe to fall on as well, is that this is going to be sealed first editions are going to be collector's value as the time goes on and as this gets further and further out of print. So there's that. The second deck is not as gracious. Soul Burner, this specifically was I went heavy on this. I think you can see the case here. It's 8 decks. I think I bought three cases of these, more specifically because the hype of the common Ash Blossoms, which is very out of character for me. I really do not invest in commons at all. I usually try to go for at least super rares for the majority of my investments, but it's Ash Blossom, and at the time there wasn't too many prints. I think there was only the original secret rares and the Shadows Impala super rare reprints. Now it's been reprinted to hell, but still to this day, it's holding, about a $7-ish price point for the common, which is the lowest rarity of this card. It's still, on its own merit, very, very incredible. It's been very stable and a very stable investment. These other cards, really not much value. Salmon Greats are still in the meta. They're still very much part of the meta. People still like this deck. It's a big anime deck and all that, and characters. And this, again, I bought 3 cases of this first edition, and I'm just waiting. You can already see right here. I mean, TCG Pro is kind of expensive for sealed product like this. I don't really know who buys sealed product from here. Some TCG player. I mean, it's all pretty much monopolized on the singles. But again, this is going to be a collector's structure deck, sealed first edition. It's already past its $10 price point, so there's that for you. Okay, and then really quickly again, so I said this in another video that I specifically featured for my investment that I pulled on Shaddoll Showdown. Reason being is the same reasons that I said about the other structure decks. But this is huge. Shaddolls, and I might be a little biased because I've been really kind of messing and blending Shaddolls a lot and really play testing with it a lot on the deck. And of course with the whole Invoked engine, it's pretty popular. That's been a popular deck that's been running around. It's just a fan favorite deck. It's really easy to pilot. It's really fun. It's really splashable. You can mix it with so many different fun archetypes, and it's it's just it's gonna, over time, as it goes away, it's gonna be harder to get. People are gonna want it. It kind of reminds me of like me. So I'm like an Advent Dark World player. So the gates of the Underworld structure deck. Like let me just give you an example really quick. This deck, Gates of the Underworld. All right, when it came out, first edition sealed was $10. Now, this is just one reference, this is just eBay, but this is a pretty good rough estimate. This was a $10 structure deck. First edition sealed. The cheapest one you can find on this site is like, if you're not factoring in shipping, $40, $50+. And these were $10. Now, granted, this came out a long time ago. This is way older than the structure decks I'm featuring now. But give it time, your investment will always come back to you. And it's as simple as this. If people think of like, oh, like structure decks, like it's cheap, it's just commons, like it's mass produced, it's massed, you know, no one's gonna really want it. I mean, look at this. Was one of my all-time favorite structure decks, if not my favorite structure decks of like all time. I used to love playing this in Dino Rabbit format. I was on the Dark World side. I like Dino Rabbits now. I appreciate the deck now, but at the time I hated Dino Rabbits and I was all about Dark World. But this is like a $50 structure deck. 8 years later, granted, yes, that's an 8-year, you know, in the making investment, but it's definitely worth it. I mean, if you have time, I think it's worth it. I think it's the same thing is going to happen with the Shaddoll Showdown. There's hardcore Shaddoll players, and another thing, besides just the merit of having these sealed first edition, there's some solo prints, such as the new support, like Wendy and Ariel, and you know, this guy and stuff, and the trap card. But there is, as of now, the only versions and the only way available to get the alternate artwork, ultra rares of Ultradoll Construct and Ultradoll Winda, which are the two most, you know, powerhouse fusions, which makes this deck such an awesome deck. And this is the only way you can get it. I don't know if they are gonna really re-release these alternate artworks of these amazing frontlining fusion monsters. But as of now, these are the only way that you can get these alternate versions of this deck. So an all-around just fantastic buy. If you can get these at your Target or Walmart or wherever you buy your decks, again, first edition only, sealed, hold them, don't open them, save them, and I promise you'll definitely get a higher return of profit. The longer you hold it, the higher you're going to get. Just like Gates of the Underworld. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. This has been a showcasing by the White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.